Hey everybody, welcome back to another Go Battle League video. Real quick, I just wanted to preface this video by letting you guys know I hit level 38 today, so I'm only 2 levels away from the big 40, which is really exciting, and I gained 1 million XP in a week, so man, I'm getting there quickly, but it's still gonna be a long grind. I think I have 8 million XP to get, so if I can get a million XP a week for 8 weeks, I'll get there in a couple months. But I don't know. It'll take a while. A lot of that XP I got was from the Luminous Legends event with the 3 times catch XP, which is really helpful. I ended up lucky egging for about 30 minutes at actually the University of North Texas, and I was walking around and I got like 200,000 XP in like an hour, so it's pretty crazy. But getting into these battles, I'm featuring Linoone with Hypno and Alolan Marowak in the back. So this first battle slowed down because it is an absolutely insane game. Picking up a lead against a Hypno, he switches into Litleo, and at this point, I think he has Flame Charge, but I don't know what his other move is. So I'm gonna let this first move go. Yeah, and it ends up being a Flame Charge, which is really nice. And this will allow me to get two Thunder Punches and throw them back to back. These Embers are doing a lot of damage. I think it's like the same speed as a counter, and I think it does maybe a little bit more damage, but charges energy a bit slower. But Ember is still a really good move. But at this point, I can get the second shield. Wow. So I go up 2 shields to 0 early in this battle, and what am I going to come back with? Either one would be okay. I'm going to come back in with Alolan Marowak. And this is where I don't know Litleo's moveset. He throws a crunch with the boosted attack. Oh my gosh, that does so much damage. Definitely a rookie mistake here. But you live and you learn, and now I know that Litleo has crunch. So I'm going to throw this Bone Club because I don't want to see this thing anymore. And I'm probably going to pull a switch into Linoone if he brings the Hypno. So what I do here is I throw the Fire Spin and then catch the confusion on the Linoone. And as you can see, this might end up saving me later in the battle. I knew that I was going to have to get to a Shadow Bone with Alolan Marowak, so getting that Fire Spin through and getting that extra energy without actually taking the confusion damage is going to be really helpful later on in this game. 2 Grass Knots is going to have to KO this Medicham. Will it take it out? Yes, it does. And at this point, Hypno can come in and farm me down, but it doesn't matter how much energy he has because I have 2 shields, and it is going to be a race to the Shadow Bone. I live the second confusion. I get to the Shadow Bone, and this is going to be enough to take out the Hypno. Oh, wow. What a crazy game. I was freaking out after this one. I thought that all hope was lost. But no, I come back and I end up winning with the unintentional 2 shield flex. So, getting into this next matchup against a Shadow Snorlax. And this is a pretty neutral matchup. Even though they have superpower, he's going to debuff his attack here, and he actually catches this move on Deoxys. So, not good for me, but, maybe we can bring this game back. So, I bring in Alolan Marowak because I don't want to bring in Hypno. I want to end up having super effective damage at the ready. So, I let the Rock Slide go just because I can live it. And this was probably a mistake because now if he has Psycho Boost, he can just go ahead and throw it. But I can get to another Bone Club here, and this is going to pressure. Okay, no, he lives it, and he gets a move through. That's really bad. I'm going to let this go, assuming it's a Psycho Boost, because I was counting moves. And yeah, so I'm very low here, and Snorlax can farm me down. So I'm down a ton of health and a Pokemon. So I'm going to have to absolutely wall something in the back here. Shadow Snorlax is going to shield. He's going to end up throwing a move, which is really good. I can let this Linoone go and pray that Hypno can sweep in the back. Shadow Snorlax takes a lot of damage from these confusions, but the licks do so much in return. So I'm going to end up just throwing a couple Thunder Punches here. Overfarm on energy here. And Shadow Snorlax gets to another move. I have to shield this. And what does he have in the back? Oh, no, I get to the Thunder Punch. I'm going to undercharge it. A mistake because he has a Mon in the back, and it ends up being Hypno. So this game is over. I shouldn't have even thrown the Shadow Ball because my opponent still has a shield. So this is going to end up being a loss for sure. Yeah, and I can see this game. So tough loss, but you can't win them all. And as I was playing, I did realize that this team comp was a bit... oh, I guess I had a bit of recording lag there. But this team comp is a bit weak to some things. So starting off this battle with some lag, ending up getting robbed of a couple fast moves. So great start to this game. But let's see if I can bring it back. Kanto Muck is a pretty spicy pick for this meta, but being poison type, it can end up taking care of, I guess, like grass types. I guess it's probably good against fighting types. Maybe, let's see what else. It's weak to psychics, which there's a lot of Hypnos, a lot of defense Deoxys, even a lot of Metachams that can get to psychic. So I don't know what the Muck is super good for, but I'm going to end up being able to farm it down. And he comes in with Zangoose. This is not great, but Zangoose takes a lot of damage from these Bone Clubs because of how glassy it is. So he throws Night Slash. This is fine. I can get to another Bone Club, threaten a shield, threaten a lot of health. He ends up shielding this Bone Club, which is pretty good for me. And at this point, I can farm it down with Hypno. I got the Confusion through, which is really good. And at this point, I can just throw one more, and boom, it's down. So, ooh, he has a Charm Raichu in the back. We saw one of these in my Soul Rock video, and it's made another appearance. But this time, it is not up against a fighter. It is up against a Hypno. So this Charmchu is not going to have a good time. It's even got a pretty cool hat, which might be the... I don't know what kind of hat that is. I don't know what event that was from. It was probably when I was inactive from this game. So actually, fun fact, I played a lot in like 2016, early 2017, but then I ended up taking a break from Pokemon Go up until I think it was like January 2020. It was during a winter event, and I was catching a bunch of whatever evolves into a Bob and Snow. I can't remember what it's called right now, but a bunch of those were spawning, and I came back to the game around that point. That's when PvP was introduced, and brought me back to the game super quickly. And I've been playing since then. So I'm about a year and a half strong on being back in this game. But I did not play this game very much in the years of 2018 and 2019. So getting back into the gameplay, I'm up against a Kingdra. This Thunder Punch probably will KO if he lets it go. And he shields. So I'm, again, up 2 shields to 0. So this is not looking bad for me. I'm going to end up shielding because this could be an Outrage. But it's an Octazooka and no debuff. So that's really good for me. I can farm down with Linoone. And now I have a ton of energy. He comes in with Altaria. And this Thunder does not do as much damage as I thought it would. That is a nuke move, and it does like 35, maybe 40% against Altaria. So I was quite underwhelmed, but you know, it's okay. I can let this go and farm down with Alolan Marowak and get a bunch of energy for whatever he has in the back, and that's what I'm going to do. He has a Hypno. So this battle's looking pretty good. I'm going to throw the Shadow Bone right away because I think he gets like half a turn maybe of energy, but it's okay. I think maybe at this point I can farm down the Hypno after shielding. So, ooh, this is a Shadow Ball, so that's really good. I was going to have to shield either way. A Shadow Ball would probably have KO'd, so I was going to have to worry about that for sure. But it ended up getting shielded, so I'm going to throw this Bone Club at the Hypno to make sure it can't get to another move. Throw the Bone Club on the Altaria, and is this going to KO? No, but the Altaria does not have enough energy to get to another move. So, very nice match, getting up another win. And this dude had a really cool skin. I saw it in the lobby and I was kind of wowed. Just looks so sick in my opinion. But Dragonair, even though these moves are all resisted on it, this is still pretty good matchup for Linoone because Aqua Tail does not do that much damage. And I can build up to 2 Grass Knots here. So this first one's going to be coming through. Probably won't get shielded, but, you know, maybe Dragonair doesn't know the moveset. Yeah, it ends up letting it go, which is smart. But the second Grass Knot would KO. So he's going to have to shield here if he wants Switch Advantage, and he does. And I'm just going to try and farm down with Hypno. Aqua Tail coming through. It's not going to do too much damage, so I can let it go. He's going to come in Kingdra, so being up a shield here, I'm just going to go straight for the ball. If this goes through, it's going to do a ton of damage. If he shields it, I can just build up to another one. But yeah, he lets it go, which is, oh man, that does so much damage. But at this point, I can let this Octazooka go, and I should be able to farm down because I got that confusion through earlier. So yeah, Hypno comes in. We'll get farmed down by Altaria, but at this point, Alolan Marowak can beat Altaria up a shield. So I'm going to end up shielding everything that he throws at me because Sky Attacks will do chunk damage. And I can try and get up to 3 Shadow Bones, and that might be enough to take out the Altaria, but this will be a very close game nonetheless because he can try and sack swap with whatever he has in the back. So I sack the Linoone at the perfect time. I actually, I didn't throw my Shadow Bone there because I was trying to count 15 Dragon Breaths for the Altaria to do a sack swap onto my Linoone. So at this point, I should be able to get this Shadow Bone through. He'll probably end up shielding. Oh, he lets it go. Yeah, he knows this game's over. But I'm going to throw Bone Club here, which probably wasn't the smartest because he can shield and probably get like 1 Dragon Breath through. So that could have cost me, but I ended up winning nonetheless. So very good battle. Getting into this next matchup, Linoone up against Vigoroth. This is a horrible matchup because Counter does so much damage to a normal type and Ghost is double resisted. So I'm going to come into Hypno, and my opponent's actually going to stay in here. So I wonder what he has in the back that he would need to stay in for a Vigoroth. Actually, I think he just wanted to get the Body Slam through and switch. So he switches into Hypno, which is pretty smart because you don't want that to be paired up against a Linoone because those Shadow Claws will do super effective damage. But my opponent lets the Shadow Ball go through here, and at this point I can get to a Thunder Punch, and oof, that is tough. It doesn't KO, and I'm not going to be able to farm down before he gets a move. So I will shield up the Shadow Ball, and I will take Switch Advantage, but giving up a shield in the process. So Frostlass, I can Confusion up to the Thunder Punch, and he might think this is a Fire Punch. He might think that I'm already at the Shadow Ball. So he does shield, and at this point I can try and get to another Thunder Punch, and I do with 1 HP. This is really good for me. And at this point, since I've given up Switch, oh, actually I have Switch, so I probably want to let that last Powder Snow go through. Yeah. So I have Switch Advantage, I have Shield Advantage, but my opponent does have Energy. So I'm going to let this first Avalanche go through, knowing that it's not going to be enough to KO my Linoone, and he has Vigoroth in the back, and I'm just going to come in with Alolan Marowak. I could shield here. This is a high likelihood of being a Bulldoze, and yeah, it is. So I could probably just shielded that up and let the second one go through, but now I've given my opponent an opportunity to bait with Body Slam. But I should be able to outpace this Vigoroth here, and I should be able to get to a third Bone Club before he can get to move. Actually, he lets his Bone Club go. Yeah, he doesn't have any shields, and at this point, I get the Fire Spin through, so that's going to do enough to take it out. And at this point, Frostlass has to throw, and this is perfect for me. That means that the Frostlass is energy dry, and it's not going to have any energy to throw a move at my Linoone. And this Grass Knot will definitely do enough to KO this Frostlass because the damage will be neutral. So, picking up another very nice win. And yeah, I'm going to get into the next game here. I lost a lot of battles today because of lag. I don't know what's been going on, but my internet connection at home has not been the best. And I've definitely lost some battles due to lag. And I actually crashed. I think I ended up crashing again today. So I'm going to have to get that figured out. But otherwise, a lot of the games that I didn't lag were wins. So that is why there are a lot of wins in this match, or in this video. And I think there's only like maybe 1 or 2 losses in this video, and I think I have like 10 or 11 battles here. Let me see. I have 11 battles, and I think I ended up going like 9-2. So I had a good day when I was not lagging, but you know, losing battles when you have no control over your connection is very frustrating, but it's okay. It's part of the game, and you know, it's something that you have to take into consideration. So I'm going to come into this Linoone. I think I catch the X Scissor here. And at this point, I'm going to let this move go through also. It probably is, yeah, it's a Rock Slide, which is not great. And at this point, he comes in Primeape, and I'm going to come straight in with a Alolan Marowak here. And 2 shields are on the board across the map. So I'm going to throw these Bone Clubs because there's absolutely no reason he would let a move go through, even though it is most likely a double bait. I think getting to the 3rd Bone Club would be enough to KO. So this is a pretty good position I'm in here. Shields are even again, so I can throw the 2nd Bone Club. Maybe this is the 3rd Bone Club. And he's going to shield it, and at this point, I'm going to get to the next Bone Club, but not before he gets to a Night Slash. So I'll shield this, get the Bone Club off, and then I'll probably have to farm down whatever is in the back, or maybe I can even come in with Linoone. Yeah, so Linoone's going to come in, and we are going to KO each other at the same time, but because I had another Pokemon in the back, I'm going to be able to take this game. Getting into the next match, Linoone up against Shadow Hypno, another very good lead because I'm doing super effective damage with the fast move. And I would think that opponents at this range would know that Linoone runs Shadow Claw, or at least some sort of Ghost fast move, because it is a normal type in the Retro Cup, and a good chunk of normal types either run a counter as the fast move or a Ghost move, either Lick or Shadow Claw. But there is also Barrel, which is a dual type, but a lot of monotyping normals are either Ghost or Fighting fast moves. So being paired up against a Medicham here, very good matchup for me. I shielded up the first Psychic because I've read that a lot of Medichams don't like to bait on the first move. Read not as like in a video or article or something, but just from past experiences with this matchup, they usually just Psychic right away. So I like to shield up the first one. He's going to throw a second Psychic, which is absolutely fine. I have shield advantage here, and I can just Shadow Bone the Medicham, and he doesn't even bother trying to catch. So, switch advantage has been attained. Shield advantage has been attained. He comes in with Hypno. He can't even get to a move, and has Frostlass in the back. This game is over. I don't even know why I threw this Bone Club here and swapped out. I could have easily built up to another Shadow Bone because these Powder Snows do not do much damage. But either way, there's not really a win condition for my opponent, so I can just build up to a Shadow Ball here on the Hypno, shield up whatever move Frostlass wants to throw at me, and this batch is over. Hypno is a pretty good closer, and it has a lot of coverage. I'm thinking about maybe switching over to Ice Punch, because I did have a couple of matches up against Diggersby, and Diggersby double resists both Shadow Ball and Thunder Punch. And matchups like the Jellicent matchup are, not great because Thunder Punch and Shadow Ball both do super effective. So I might end up switching to Ice Punch. But this matchup, I shield up the close combat from what is that Pokemon? Not Zigzagoon. It's Zangoose, another Pokemon that starts with Z. But he switches into Dragonair, so I'm going to come in with Hypno, and I'm going to bait with Thunder Punch here. He lets it go, which is a very nice play for him. But I'm going to shield this Aqua Tail, end up taking a shield disadvantage, but I'm going to be able to farm this Dragonair all the way down to 0 HP. Actually, I'm down 2 shields to 0, so this is not great. But Zangoose comes back in, and this Thunder Punch should most definitely be taking a shield. Yep, he lets it go. And I'm going to switch back into my Linoone. I have energy stored, so this Grass Knot might get the second shield here. Oh, my opponent lets it go, and that's not... Oh, no, it is great for me, because I can farm down with Shadow Claws, and he has Frostlass in the back. So, this should be getting the second shield here. And, oh my god, he lets it go too! What is he saving that last shield for? And, oh my gosh, he's forced to throw too. This is so bad for my opponent. And then at this point, Alolan Marowak can come in, farm down, and take this matchup. But I don't know how much energy he has, so I'm going to wait down my switch clock. Either way, I wasn't even able to sack swap Hypno even if I wanted to. But either way, Alolan Marowak takes that game. So, I 5-1 to that set, or 4-1 to that set, and I'm gonna get into the last two battles here, picking up a lead against Haunter. Oh man, this is so good. Venusaur comes in. I probably should have switched into a Alolan Marowak, but Hypno does super effective damage with Confusion, so it's not all bad. At this point, I'm going to try and build up. I should have thrown here. Big mistake by me, but I caused a CMP tie. Because it gets 6 Vine Whips get to a Frenzy Plant, 3 Confusions get to the second Thunder Punch, and Venusaur can farm up 2 Vine Whips for every Confusion that Hypno gets through. So really bad play on my end, big mistake by me. I could have won this game a lot easier, but oh my gosh, that Thunder Punch and Confusion from Hypno, absolutely chunks. But now this closing matchup is Alolan Marowak into Cresselia, and even though Cresselia is up a shield, I can bait here. Even though he has Future Sight, which is crazy, like maybe 15% of Cresselias have Future Sight. Most people like to run Grass Knot and Moonblast, but maybe in the closer it's a bit different. But I successfully baited with Bone Club, and then I throw the Shadow Bone. He shields that, which is absolutely fine, because I can shield this Future Sight. No, it's actually Grass Knot, so good bait by my opponent, but I'm not. I don't think it matters. Oh, maybe it does. If this is a Future Sight, I'm screwed. It's a Grass Knot. I live it, and I can get to the Shadow Bone. So a little mistake in the mid game contributed to a lot closer of a matchup than it needed to be, but nonetheless, I can farm down this Haunter. He actually just concedes the matchup. Even if he had Sludge Bomb and he was at a move, Linoone would have been able to live it, and then Cresselia would have came in, and it would have been hit with Grass Knot. So my opponent saw the writing on the wall, conceded the matchup, and getting into this last game, Linoone into Whiscash. Oh man, this is such a good lead because Grass Knot absolutely nukes. So I'm gonna throw 1 turn before he can get to a Blizzard, because I've seen that I've had 2, maybe 3 lead matchups against Whiscash, and usually they either like to switch out or they like to build up to a Blizzard. He actually throws the Blizzard here, and I successfully shield it, and Galvantula gets met by Alolan Marowak. This is a nightmare for my opponent. This is what this team comp is made for. Weird teams like this with Galvantula in the back, teams like Whiscash in the lead, and Ghost types and Psychic types in the lead. So he's going to shield up the Bone Club. Oh man, this is so good for me because I can come out of this matchup now with switch advantage and shield advantage. And what is my opponent going to do? Whiscash has no shields, so it's going to get absolutely nuked by my Linoone. And he's actually going to come in and farm me down. That's absolutely fine here. I'm going to try to charge up to a Shadow Ball, but not getting the Bone Club through is absolutely fine. He doesn't even try and switch out a Whiscash here. And pretty quick battle. He ends up conceding with the Crustle because Hypno can beat it up a shield. And that's a good game. So going 10-1 today in these battles that I ended up recording. Very successful day for me. I was actually able to get back up above 2,700 MMR, and I'm almost back up to legend status, or not legend status, expert status, as my rank says. But, you know, it's a slow and steady grind. But I really do like the Retro Cup, and I've had a lot of success with it, so I'm going to keep playing and keep trying to grind as many points as I can. Sorry for the no upload yesterday. I kind of took the day off and played some Pokemon Go with a couple of IRL friends and grinded out level 38. And I played my battles 2 nights ago, so the day that the Soul Rock video was uploaded. And I ended up just tryharding those battles, and I used, I think it was Hypno, Lapras, and Superior, and I had quite a bit of success with that team, but I ended up not recording because I wasn't really feeling it. So yeah, that's the reason as to why I didn't upload yesterday. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.